good voice.
Sorry, I don't think so
No.
at all. I thought your voice was almost annoying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I actually ended up collapsing one night, and they found out that I had blood clots.
When does a dinner date with your husband turn into a fight for your life in a hospital ICU? How does a Grammy-winning vocalist with a voice that moves millions suddenly collapse unconscious, with doctors scrambling to figure out what's killing her? Before this ends, two truths will shake you: the terrifying medical emergency that almost took Tori Kelly from us in 2023, and the childhood rejection from American Idol that Simon Cowell himself would later regret. Stay close, because the Tori Kelly story is about survival, resilience, and a voice that refused to be silenced. December 14, 1992, Waldemar, California welcomed Victoria Loran Kelly into a musical household where creativity wasn't just encouraged, it was inevitable. Her father, Alwyn Kelly, brought Jamaican and Puerto Rican heritage and a deep love for music. Her mother, Laura Kelly, came from Irish and German roots and played piano beautifully.
Dad is Jamaican and Puerto Rican, and my mom is Irish and German, and probably some other things, but those are like, I'm from Southern California, from like Temecula-ish.
Inland Empire, son.
Yeah.
Together, they created a home that was, as Tori would later describe, probably the loudest house on the street.
Both my parents are really musical. My dad sings and he plays bass, and he was in bands like growing up and stuff, and my mom grew up playing piano, so
It was just music,
as a
music,
kid,
music.
yeah, we probably had the loudest house on the street.
Music played constantly, every genre: neo-soul, gospel, R&B, pop, rock. Tori absorbed it all. Her father would play Maxwell and D'Angelo, creating riff battles where young Tori would try to match his vocal runs. She didn't know she was training her voice.
I was influenced by a lot of amazing singers. I remember really looking up to Mariah Carey. I remember Jill Scott being played in my house a lot, D'Angelo and Maxwell.
She just thought everyone lived like this.
I started singing, my parents say, since I was like 3. I was humming stuff. And I think they saw it at a really early age. I just always thought it was like a part of life. Like I walked around in kindergarten thinking everybody sang.
At 3 years old, Tori was humming melodies. By 6, she was entering singing competitions. Her parents noticed something special early on, but they never pushed. Tori was the one begging for more opportunities, more stages, more chances to sing. At 10 years old, Tori appeared on Star Search. 2 members of Boyz II Men served as celebrity judges. And said something that would become a recurring theme throughout Tori's career. This big voice coming out of this little girl, how is this possible? That big voice kept growing. Tori studied vocalists obsessively. Crystal Lewis, a gospel artist, became an early influence. Jill Scott, India.Arie, Jeff Buckley, John Mayer. She filled her musical palette with songwriters who prioritized substance over flash, soul over spectacle.
I'm very much into vocals. I've been inspired by so many different genres. So still very much vocalist, I think, was the through line, and soul was a really big through line for me. That feeling you get when you hear a song and it's just someone singing with so much passion, that's something that I think will always stick with me.
But Tori wanted more than just singing. She wanted to create. At 12 years old, she was signed to a record label, her first taste of the music industry's machinery.
When I was 12 years old, I ended up getting signed to a record label. I felt like I had the world promised to me.
The experience would prove formative, but not in the way anyone expected. The label wanted to change everything about her. They pressured her to alter her look, her personality, her entire presentation. They wanted a product, not a person. Tori felt the inauthenticity immediately and resisted. The relationship dissolved, and Tori learned a crucial lesson early. The industry would try to reshape her, but she had to protect who she was.
There were some things that happened within the label where someone else kind of came in and took over and didn't really believe in me the same way. I was just really confused of why they didn't see.
Then came the rejection that would define her early narrative. Tori auditioned for American Idol. She sang, pouring her heart into every note.
Gravity wants to bring me down.
Randy Jackson said no. Paula Abdul said she was okay, but they'd pass. Simon Cowell, the harshest judge of all, dismissed her with a brutal assessment that would later resurface online. Annoying.
The thought came up to try out for American Idol. I made it pretty far, but ended up getting sent home. This isn't just one door closing. This is like another door out of all these other doors that have closed in my face.
Tori was devastated. This was supposed to be her big break, and instead she became part of the blooper reel, the cautionary tale of artists who didn't make the cut.
And that's great.
You're only 16.
You're like a human orange.
Let's take a look. What? Brandy.
For many people, that rejection would have ended the dream. For Tori Kelly, it became fuel. She went back to what she knew, creating. She started a YouTube channel.
There's no one here but you and me. We've been through it.
Posting covers and original songs from her bedroom.
I grew up seeing social media as a way to put my music out there. I was posting YouTube covers and immediately interact and engage with fans and really promote myself because I didn't even have a team. So that was amazing.
Her vocal ability was undeniable, but what stood out was her authenticity. She wasn't trying to be anyone else. She was just Tori, guitar in hand, massive voice, genuine spirit.
I picked up the guitar, started to put my own original music out online, and it was this kind of slow building process that wasn't forced. There was no, you gotta be this and you gotta try this and, you gotta try to have this different personality. I didn't have to change myself. I could just be myself.
In 2012, everything changed.
And I think once I did that, that's really when doors started opening. I continued to put out different videos online, just original music, and next thing I knew, I was signed again to another record label.
Tori posted a cover of Frank Ocean's Thinking About You. The video went viral, eventually accumulating over 22 million views.
I'm thinking out loud, maybe.
But the discovery didn't happen on YouTube. It happened on World Star Hip Hop of all places. Music executive Dave Appleton saw the video, showed it to Scooter Braun, and Scooter immediately wanted to see her perform live. Tori happened to have her first solo show that week, just her and a guitar at a small Los Angeles venue called Room 5 that held maybe 75 people. The line was so long that Scooter Braun couldn't get in. A friend helped him sneak into the show, and what he saw convinced him. Tori Kelly was the real deal.
He showed Scooter that video, and Scooter was like, I gotta get to a show. And I just so happened to have my very first show, just me and a guitar, that week. So I put out the video, and then it was like all this buzz around it.
But Tori was hesitant.
But no, we basically just got in touch, and I was a little hesitant at first, though. That's, I think, the part people don't realize, because I was at that point.
She'd been signed before and burned. She'd built an independent following on YouTube and controlled her own narrative. Did she really need a manager? Did she need the industry machine again? After several meetings, Tori decided to trust Scooter. She realized that while she could do a lot independently, there was a ceiling she couldn't break through alone. If she wanted her music to reach millions instead of thousands, she needed help.
I was hesitant at first, but after a few meetings, I was finally like, okay, it's time, I think, to really expand. And I know I can trust this guy. He was, definitely showing that I could trust him. He was so passionate.
In 2015, Tori released her debut album, Unbreakable Smile. The album debuted at #2 on the Billboard 200, a massive achievement for a former YouTube artist. The lead single, Nobody Love, became a radio hit, reaching the top 20 on multiple charts.
Ain't nobody love like you do.
Should Have Been Us followed, showcasing Tori's vocal range and songwriting ability. But the song that truly showcased Tori's artistry was Dear No One, an acoustic ballad about waiting for real love instead of settling.
Dear no one, this is your love song.
The song resonated deeply with fans who'd watched Tori grow up online, who appreciated her refusal to compromise her values for industry acceptance. Tori wasn't just a singer, she was a complete artist, writing, producing, arranging vocals, playing instruments. At the 2016 Grammy Awards, Unbreakable Smile earned Tori a nomination for Best New Artist. She didn't win, but the nomination validated everything she'd fought for.
Daytime TV, morning shows, sold out tours, perform, and be nominated for a Grammy. That still blows my mind. And be the voice of an elephant in an animated movie called Sing. And that was just another dream come true.
That same year, Tori landed a role that would introduce her to an entirely new audience. She voiced Mina the elephant in Illumination's animated film Sing.
Hallelujah.
Mina was a shy, introverted elephant with a massive voice, basically Tori in animated form. The film became a massive success, grossing over $634 million worldwide. Tori's performance of Hallelujah in the film became iconic, showcasing her vocal ability to millions of families who might never have heard her music otherwise. But internet culture being what it is, Tori's character also became the subject of memes and criticism. After Sing 2 was released in 2021, a scene where Mina sings Happy Birthday went viral for all the wrong reasons.
Happy birthday to you.
People called the character a pick-me, mocked the scene relentlessly, and turned it into a joke. Tori, to her credit, found the whole thing hilarious. She leaned into the humor, understanding that in internet culture, being memed meant cultural relevance. She'd rather be talked about than forgotten.
There was a whole thing that she's like a pick-me, because she just took over the happy birthday song for her grandpa. And I never thought of it that way.
In 2018, Tori's personal life took a beautiful turn. She married Andre Murillo, a former basketball player who stood 6'6" to Tori's petite 5'3" frame.
Dre, he was playing basketball early on at the time. So I think some of those questions and concerns came later. Once it was he was trying to put a ring on it, then it was whoa.
Yeah. They'd met through family. His parents moved next door to Tori's aunt in a small town, and their families tried playing Cupid. Tori and Andre talked for 5 months before meeting in person, building a foundation based on faith, values, and genuine connection, rather than physical attraction or surface-level flirtation. When they finally met, Tori was relieved. He was exactly who he'd presented himself to be. No catfish situation.
Their relationship became Tori's safe space. Andre understood the pressures of performing at high levels, the scrutiny of public life, the importance of faith and family. He supported Tori's career without trying to control it or benefit from it. He had his own identity, his own passions. Marriage changed Tori's creative outlook. She had more to write about, more depth to explore. But as someone who processes emotions slowly, she knew the songs about her marriage wouldn't come immediately. She'd need time to sit with the feelings before turning them into art. In 2018, Tori released a gospel EP called Hiding Place, produced entirely by Kirk Franklin. The project was a radical departure from pop music, diving deep into Tori's faith and spiritual life. She'd grown up on gospel music, and this was her chance to honor those roots. The album featured songs like Never Alone, featuring Kirk Franklin, Psalm 42, and Help Us to Love.
All this hate I see on the TV screen.
The vulnerability and honesty in tracks like Questions, where Tori literally questions God about suffering and pain, resonated with believers and non-believers alike.
You're never alone.
I've grown up on gospel music, so I don't know if it was just always in me. I think it was always in me. I think something in me always was I want to do a gospel project at some point. And I didn't think it would be so soon, but just the timing of everything, it just felt like it needed to happen when it did. And also working with Kirk Franklin, who's incredible. I wouldn't have been able to do that album without him, so that was just an incredible experience.
Hiding Place won 2 Grammy Awards, Best Gospel Performance/Song for Never Alone, and Best Gospel Album.
Kirk Franklin for doing this project with me. Yes, you can clap for him. He's amazing.
Tori Kelly, the girl rejected by American Idol, now had multiple Grammys. The validation was sweet, but more importantly, Tori had proven she could succeed across multiple genres without compromising her artistic integrity. But the gospel album created unexpected controversy. The Republican National Committee used Tori's cover of Hallelujah without permission during their 2020 convention. Tori publicly stated that neither she nor her team had authorized the use, distancing herself from any political implications. In 2019, Tori released Inspired by True Events, a deeply personal album addressing her parents' divorce, her grandfather's death, and the emotional weight of watching her family fracture while her career flourished. Songs carried heavy themes: loss, grief, change, uncertainty.
Missing you way too much. I'm wishing you.
Tori admitted that creating both Hiding Place and Inspired by True Events simultaneously felt necessary. She was processing trauma, heartbreak, and joy all at once, balance. The music became her therapy, her way of making sense of chaos.
A lot of things have happened in my life. Everything from, my parents separated and my grandpa passed away. Thank you. Yeah, but a more happy thing, of course, I got married, which is awesome.
The album showcased Tori's growth as a songwriter and vocalist, but commercially, it didn't match Unbreakable Smile's success. The music industry was changing. Streaming was king. Viral moments mattered more than album sales. Tori's artistry was undeniable, but breaking through the noise became increasingly difficult.
Can explain this to ya. I'm trying to learn your language, sugar.
For several years, Tori toured, recorded, collaborated with other artists, and lived her life outside the relentless album cycle. She opened for Sam Smith and Ed Sheeran, performed at major events, and continued building her legacy as one of the best vocalists of her generation. Then came July 23rd, 2023. Tori and Andre went out to dinner in Los Angeles, a normal date night for a married couple. They were laughing, eating, enjoying each other's company. Suddenly, Tori collapsed, unconscious, unresponsive. Andre panicked, calling for help as restaurant staff rushed over. Paramedics arrived and transported Tori to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, one of the top hospitals in Los Angeles. Doctors ran tests, searching desperately for answers. What they found was terrifying: blood clots in Tori's lungs and legs. If left untreated, those clots could travel to her heart or brain, causing a stroke or death. Tori was in and out of consciousness, fighting for her life while doctors worked to stabilize her. Andre and Tori's family were terrified. This happened out of nowhere. No warning signs, no previous health issues. One moment Tori was fine, the next she was in the ICU fighting for survival.
The news broke publicly, and fans around the world prayed, sent messages, and waited anxiously for updates. Andre posted on social media, asking for prayers and thanking everyone for their support. Tori's team released statements about unexpected health challenges, but details were scarce. For 8 days, Tori remained hospitalized. Doctors treated the blood clots aggressively, monitoring her constantly to ensure they didn't worsen or spread. Slowly, miraculously, Tori began to recover. Her strength returned, her consciousness stabilized. On July 31st, 2023, Tori was discharged from the hospital. She walked out alive, grateful, changed forever by an experience that could have easily killed her.
Really scary and really kind of not expected. I was rushed to the hospital after just like a night having dinner with my husband, and they ended up finding blood clots actually, and was not expecting. I had no idea that they were there, didn't really know anything about it. Still, I'm like no expert, so I'm like very much trusting my doctors, and they took care of me, and I'm so grateful for them. And it seems manageable now. I'm like back and feeling great.
The health scare became a turning point. Tori realized life was fragile, time was precious, and she couldn't take anything for granted. She'd spent years perfecting her craft, building her career, and maintaining her integrity, but she'd almost lost everything in an instant.
The green light, to tour and do all that stuff. Yeah. So I think I'm just looking at life differently. I'm grateful. I'm, trying to live more in the moment. There were so many people that were just so supportive, and I just felt all that love.
Inspired by the experience, Tori poured herself into new music. In 2024, she released a self-titled album simply called Tori. The project addressed the health scare, her marriage, her journey through doubt and fear, and her gratitude for life itself. The album featured upbeat, joyful songs designed to make people dance and feel good, a stark contrast to the heavy themes of her previous work. Songs like Cut and Missin' You showcased Tori's vocal ability while celebrating love, resilience, and second chances. Tori worked extensively with producer John Bellion on the album, creating a sound that blended pop, R&B, and soul into something uniquely hers. The album felt like a celebration. Tori was alive, healthy, and ready to embrace every moment. In late 2024, Tori announced the Purple Skies Tour, her first major headlining tour in years.
It's been, I think, 4.5 years since my last tour, which I know, every artist is different. Some artists might be like, oh, that's not that long. For me, that's like so long.
The tour would take her across North America, performing in intimate venues where fans could experience her voice in its full power. Tickets sold out quickly, proving that Tori's fan base remained loyal and devoted. At 31 years old, Tori Kelly has achieved what many artists never do. She's maintained artistic integrity while achieving commercial success, navigated industry pressures without compromising her values, and built a career that spans pop, gospel, R&B, and film. Her hit songs, Nobody Love, Shoulda Been Us, Dear No One, Never Alone, and Hallelujah have collectively streamed hundreds of millions of times. Her voice has has moved millions, earned multiple Grammy Awards, and inspired countless aspiring singers. As of 2024, Tori Kelly's net worth is estimated at approximately $3 million, a modest figure compared to some pop stars, but reflective of an artist who prioritized artistry over commercial exploitation, who turned down opportunities that didn't align with her values, who built slowly and sustainably. Tori has appeared in major films including Sing, Sing 2, and the 2022 film Jerry and Marge Go Large. She's performed at the Grammy Awards, collaborated with legends like Stevie Wonder, and earned respect from across the music industry. But perhaps Tori's greatest achievement is simply this: she survived. She survived rejection from American Idol. She survived industry pressure to change who she was. She survived a health scare that could have easily killed her. And through it all, she never stopped singing. Tori Kelly married Andre Murillo,
And they remain happily married with one child, a son named Zayden Michael Murillo. She announced the birth on November 16, 2025, and the baby was born on November 11, 2025.
She continues to live in California, creating music, touring, and inspiring millions with her voice and her story. The girl Simon Cowell called annoying became a Grammy winner. The YouTube bedroom singer became a legitimate artist. The woman who collapsed at dinner became a survivor with a story of resilience that inspires everyone who hears it.
Tori Kelly's journey proves that rejection isn't the end. It's just redirection, that authenticity always wins in the long run, that your voice matters, even when people try to silence it. And somewhere in California, Tori Kelly is singing, still creating, still inspiring, still proving that the best revenge against doubters is simply becoming everything they said you couldn't be.